Before a man conquers a city, before a woman builds an empire, before a name is ever written into history, a quieter victory must be claimed. A victory no crowd applauds. A victory no newspaper reports. A victory that happens in silence, in thought, and resolve. This is the victory over the self, and until it is won, every external success remains fragile, temporary, borrowed. Most people wake each day already defeated, not by circumstances, but by the voice inside their own mind. A voice that whispers hesitation before action, doubt before decision, fear before faith. They move through life reacting instead of directing, hoping instead of commanding, waiting instead of becoming. They search the outer world for answers that can only be found within, and they wonder why progress feels so heavy, so slow, so uncertain. The truth is uncomfortable, but it is freeing. Life does not give you what you want. It reflects who you are. It echoes the beliefs you hold, the standards you tolerate, and the discipline you practice when no one is watching. Napoleon Hill understood this when he wrote that the mind is both the builder and the destroyer of human destiny. The same force that lifts one person to greatness leaves another standing still, not because of fate, but because of focus. Inner victory begins the moment you decide that your mind will no longer be a battlefield ruled by random thoughts. It begins when you realize that thoughts are not facts, emotions are not orders, and fear is not a prophecy. Most people allow their inner world to run on autopilot, shaped by past failures, inherited beliefs, and the opinions of those who never dared greatly. But the moment you take command of your thinking, you take the first step toward mastery. Belief is the foundation of that command. Not belief born of wishful thinking, but belief forged through decision. Edison believed in light when the world laughed at darkness being challenged. Ford believed in mass production when experts called him reckless. Their belief was not emotional, it was intentional. They decided what was possible and then aligned their minds to that decision until reality caught up. Your mind will resist this process at first. It is conditioned to protect comfort, not to pursue greatness. It will remind you of past mistakes. It will magnify risk and minimize reward. It will urge you to wait, to delay, to prepare just a little longer. This is the inner opponent that defeats more dreams than any external obstacle ever could, and it must be confronted daily, decisively, without negotiation. Clarity is the sword that cuts through this resistance. When you know exactly what you are working toward, confusion loses its power. Vagueness breeds procrastination. Precision breeds momentum. A definite purpose, clearly held, organizes your energy. It tells you what to ignore. It tells you what deserves sacrifice. And it transforms discipline from a burden into a strategy. Vision deepens that clarity. Vision is not fantasy. It is memory of the future. It is the ability to see yourself acting with confidence before confidence is visible. To feel certainty before results appear. Lincoln saw a united nation long before the war ended. Disney saw a world of imagination long before the gates ever opened. Vision is rehearsed reality, and the mind, unable to distinguish vividly imagined experience from real experience, begins to adapt to that expectation. Purpose gives vision its fire. Without purpose, effort feels empty. With purpose, effort becomes meaningful even when it is painful. Purpose answers the question, why must I endure this? And when that answer is strong enough, endurance becomes natural. You stop asking if the path is easy and start asking if the path is true. Discipline is where inner victory becomes visible. Discipline is not punishment. It is proof of self-respect. Each disciplined action is a declaration: I am in control. I choose growth over comfort. I choose the long reward over the short relief. Over time, discipline builds identity, and identity shapes destiny. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your standards. Action is the final test of inner alignment. Thought without action is illusion. Belief without movement is noise. But when thought, belief, and action move in the same direction, power is released. Fear does not disappear, but it no longer decides. Doubt may speak, but it no longer leads. You move forward not because you feel ready, but because you are committed. Gratitude strengthens this process by anchoring the mind in abundance instead of lack. Gratitude trains you to see progress instead of absence, lessons instead of losses. It sharpens awareness and fuels resilience. Those who practice gratitude consistently develop an inner steadiness that external chaos cannot shake, and resilience, true resilience, is born here. Not from avoiding hardship, but from interpreting it correctly. Failure is not a verdict, it is feedback. Setbacks are not signals to stop, they are instructions to adjust. Every great figure Hill studied faced moments where quitting would have been logical. They succeeded not because they avoided defeat, but because they refused to internalize it. Learning becomes a lifelong discipline in the mind that has tasted inner victory. Ego dissolves, curiosity expands. Every experience becomes material for growth. And with each lesson integrated, confidence deepens, not the loud confidence of ego, but the quiet confidence of competence. This is the power of inner victory. It cannot be taken. It cannot be faked. And once earned, it changes how you walk, how you speak, how you decide. The world responds differently to those who are internally aligned. Resistance softens, opportunities multiply, influence expands. Not because you demanded it, but because you became it. Win within and the world will follow. Every time.